It's called the Millenium City, but Gurgaon hospitals and patients are gasping for oxygen and crematoriums are running full. As cases surge, citizens ask, why was the government underprepared and why are patients and families being made to fight a battle without weapons?
We're fighting a war without any weapons. The government wants to kill people. This is atrocious. My dad was recovering perfectly fine. It was just a couple of days. He would have been fine. Just the lack of oxygen might kill him. We're doing everything. We're buying fucking injections for 40,000, 50,000 bucks. Day in, day out, it's just, begging people for help. The government is not doing anything. This is the least that we should be prepared for in the last year. If this would have happened last year, it was still, that we were caught unprepared. Last year, there is no preparation. Government wants people to die on the streets without any oxygen.
33-year-old Siddhant and his 30-year-old sister Srishti Chadda pleading for oxygen today for their 67-year-old father who is on a ventilator in Gurugraam's Millenium hospital.
So there's a extreme shortage of oxygen at the hospital. My father was on NIV support at 60 liters per hour oxygen consumption, and because the pressure dipped, he's been moved to the ventilator because they're not able to maintain the pressure. They've asked everybody to bring cylinders, but cylinders last only a very few minutes and he will not make it if there is no oxygen supply in the hospital. We've asked everybody, we've raised it to everybody, whoever can reach with cylinders, please come here.
We have 19 patients in the ICU and they are on a high flow oxygen supply. 6 of them are on ventilators who are in dire need of oxygen. We have 75 patients in the hospital in the COVID facility which has been designated by the Gurgaon administration. We just, we were having only a 15 minutes of supply backup where we requested all the attendants of the patients who are admitted in the hospital. Some of them are carrying some backup cylinders in their cars, so they have provided us some cylinders. So we have another 45 minutes of supply which is remaining with us, but 45 minutes of time is too less for the bigger oxygen cylinders to reach to the hospital. So, and we have intimated the nodal officer for the oxygen, Mr. Amandeep Chauhan. We have intimated the Gurgaon administration helpline number, which is 1950, regarding the oxygen crisis. And in this current situation, it is very difficult for us to continue with the admissions. So we have stopped the new admissions for the patients until and unless they are having an oxygen cylinder or an oxygen concentrator backup with them.
Millenium Hospital managed through the day on cylinders refilled by staff members or relatives of patients. But SOS calls like these have become an everyday occurrence in Gurugram.
We have 10 patients on mechanical ventilator, around 12 patients are on BiPAP. We have 22 patients who are on high flow oxygen. We are highly dependent on oxygen for these patients. Their life is in danger without oxygen. And the supply of oxygen has been very erratic to our group of hospitals. There has been no permanent solution as such which has been given to us, but we have been told that we'll be given oxygen time to time. But we are having to struggle a lot for oxygen.
Gurugram administration has now formed a 5-member committee to assess the demand of medical oxygen and manage its transportation and distribution. This team will ensure that a buffer stock of 10 metric tons is always available with the administration and can be distributed in case of emergencies. Gurugram currently receives 35 metric tons of oxygen per day, of which 20 metric tons is procured from the company Inox Rajasthan, while 15 metric tons is procured from Air Liquid Company in Panipat. While oxygen from Bhiwadi will be transported to Gurugram daily in the company's tankers and distributed to hospitals that have their own oxygen tanks, the liquid oxygen from Panipat will be transported by tankers arranged by the administration and will be brought to 3 gas refilling stations in Gurugram. From these stations, oxygen will be distributed via cylinders to hospitals that do not have oxygen tanks. These stations will also have the facility of personal distribution of oxygen. Crematoriums, on the other hand, are running out of space. At the Rambagh Crematorium in Madanpuri, there are long queues of ambulances, even open trucks carrying dead bodies. There is space for cremation of 30 bodies in a day, but is receiving far more.
तो यहाँ सब नंबर लगा के लकड़ी वगैरह खरीदने के लिए उस सब के लिए लाइन लगा के गए। अब जो यहाँ क्यू है, हमारा नंबर आए टर्न आएगा तो हम जाएंगे।
2.5 घंटे से आप लोग इंतजार?
2 घंटे लगता है।
2 घंटा हो गया था।
Even the adjacent parking lot is now being used for cremations overnight. Official figures cite only 7 deaths on Monday and 10 on Tuesday, but there were 90 cremations here on Monday and 60 on Tuesday. Officials refused to come on camera but claimed that the discrepancy is due to the high number of patients from Delhi and Ghaziabad who are also coming here for cremation. Gurugram is recording over 3,500 cases on a daily basis, and there are 29,682 active COVID patients. The positivity rate is 32%, and there have been 446 deaths till date.
Gurugram, the Millenium city, is known for how high its skyscrapers are. But today it's the queues in its crematoriums that are making headlines, and it is a struggle to get dignity even in death. In Gurugram with camera person Pooja Arya, this is Sukirti Dwivedi for NDTV.